Hey guys, welcome to my travel channel. So I don't normally come to you in this format, but I felt it was imperative for me to do it in this way for this particular one because I'm going to talk about the Horizon of Khufu experience, which is a virtual reality ancient Egyptian archaeological walkthrough based in Stratford in the Westfield Centre. And because it's all virtual reality, the whole thing, there's very little to show you. I did get a few clips, but it is just going to look like people walking aimlessly around a room. So and I couldn't film the actual virtual reality, so I decided to jump on and do it in a more chatty format. So I really enjoyed this experience. I got to go and test out the new, so they used to have backpacks that you had to walk around with, and they did a beta test for the no backpack version. I will just say that when I went, there were a few technical difficulties, but since we got free tickets to do it, they warned us out in advance. I imagine they're going to be ironed out by the time you actually do the experience. But there were a few technical difficulties when I did it, i.e. that the other people, you would see them. So let me go back to basics and kind of tell you what it is. So you put on your VR mask and it's just when you actually take the headset off, you're literally just walking around a room, but it actually does really feel like you're going on a journey, and you're walking with the headset and you're going down tunnels and you're crouching through narrow tunnels, and it is very believable when you've got the headset on. So you can see, because there's quite a lot of people in the room, you can see them marked out as little white people walking around, and then your group, which is 4, or it was in our case, you are all purple and you can see each other's name. And on my headset, and I believe other people's that day, other people would just disappear and you would just walk into them. So it made you have to be a lot more aware, and you couldn't really lose yourself in the experience. But I do believe that since we were on a test version of it, that they will have ironed that out by the time you go. So you probably don't need to be so aware of that. It's very immersive. I've done virtual reality before, but I've done it in shorter segments at the end of other experiences. And it was, quite different to have the whole 45-minute set. It did go very quickly. I couldn't believe how long I'd actually been in there when I came out, because I felt like I'd pretty much just gone in. A lot of people felt they learned a lot. I don't really feel like I learned anything, because I did know quite a bit about ancient Egypt already, because I'm absolutely fascinated with it. But I did love having it brought to life for me. Some of the views were absolutely incredible. You got to see the whole of Egypt pretty much from the top of the pyramid, and it was really well done. And there was a bit as well, I'm going to try not to give spoilers or anything, where Bastet, the cat goddess, came and did the guiding. I love cats, so I loved having her as the guide. Yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I really recommend it. I think on the wall I saw the price point would have been £45, which I think is too much for the experience. I personally wouldn't pay £45, but I think you can get tickets for about £20, which I think is far more, maybe I'm just a cheapskate, but to me that's a far more justifiable price. Having been to it, I wouldn't go to it again. I don't believe it's one of those experiences that I personally would want to repeat, unless they change the story. Maybe if they did ancient Rome or something like that, then I would, go again. But I wouldn't go and repeat the Egyptian version. But yeah, overall, great experience, great way to spend 45 minutes. I think I actually went on my own to this one because it was in the middle of the day and I just wanted to go and experience the beta testing. But I think if you went in a group of people that you knew, I actually made some friends there and got on with the people in my group really well. But I think if you went with people you can actually interact with them to some degree, because you can still talk to one another and you see each other in the game or in the experience as a little avatar. There probably isn't that much more to say about it, because that's the thing with virtual reality. It's very much an inward personal experience and it's very difficult to share. I am just going to leave you with at £20 odd. I think it's absolutely worth it. More than that, I'm not sure. It's a 45-minute experience. It does fly by quite quickly, but I do feel it was something unusual, it was unique, especially if you're interested in ancient Egypt. And my favourite parts, I think, were going around the temple at the end and getting to witness the embalming, and probably the boat trip as well. There's a really beautiful part where you're on a boat and you can see the moon and it's at night, and it's just very, very pretty and gorgeous. I'm very honest on my channel, as you can see, and I would say this one absolutely worth it at probably a sort of £20-25 price point. And I hope everyone's well, and I'll leave you with a little bit of footage from the experience.
Left or right, and this one here is the volume. When I first put the headset on, you'll be given some instructions, so just